Boom. Hey everybody, it's your boy TSD back with another episode of Bullish's Top Stocks to Watch the Week and Why. Joined today by my boy Furlough. Just gonna talk some shit real quick and just kind of give a couple little scenarios, little tidbits of information we got. We both started like a stock trading journey together, so it's cool to like be able to connect from time to time and stuff. But before we jump into it, a couple things. These are only our opinions. Do your own due diligence. Give us a sub here. Let us feel good about ourselves on our YouTube channel and follow real_bullish. Let's engage this shit. But anyways, Farrell, how you doing, man? The markets were crazy this week. We had a real high level, I didn't even have a show last week just because I knew that the markets were gonna be fucking insane, dude.
Right.
Man, we saw it on 1029, 1030. We saw that drop. I think it was a Thursday or Friday, not this one, but the previous one, where markets were just spooked, bro. Everybody was tripping. I wasn't even following this. I don't know if you were.
Like sporadic, like all over the place. Like people didn't know what to invest in. People didn't know what was going to happen. It was just crazy. Man. But finally, now that we have with election like in place and Biden becoming the next president, like people are like more firm, more confident in where their money's going to go. I think so. Like stocks, just like more like at least my portfolio, it shows where I'm like doing better, much better than how I was doing before.
No, yeah, exactly. And to your point, like, hey, like you definitely see that sell off. I'm just trying to share my screen real quick. You definitely saw that sell off, 11 to 11.3, which was basically, So the 29th and 30th, you kind of saw those really hard sell offs leading into that. So bang, just basically boom, like people were just kind of spooked out, 1030. 1029, but then they kind of rebound after that. But yeah, to your point, basically people were spooked, and that makes a lot of sense. I was kind of looking into it. I was looking at it on I wasn't really following it as much Thursday, Friday because I was out, bro. Like I was just like, hey man, this is crazy. I was kind of out before that dip because that's how I was kind of playing it more on the safe side of shit.
Yeah, and I was too. Like I wasn't about to have my money tied up, and then not knowing what was gonna happen. It was just like crazy because I saw my money just like sporadic all over the place. Like I got to the place where it was like, let me just pull back and just wait for things to fall into place before I just make a quick, irrational judgment. So I think that's a very wise move just to sometimes just sit back and see how things unfold,
And no, yeah, to your point, I think that it's going to be more of the same. Like we definitely saw, like if you look in the charts, hey, like even after coming into like Monday and Tuesday, we saw really good spikes. I think that was, people weren't really expecting that as much. I didn't see that, at least talking heads on like CNBC. I don't think kind of saw that as well. I was kind of following with everyone else, just kind of like looking for opportunity, being more opportunistic and using the dips as a way to like go long positions. Because usually I trade rather than invest. And so I took this opportunity for the dip to invest rather than trade and get in positions at like value to me, like, okay, cool. Like these stocks are at the lowest that they've been for a little while. Let me go into things that I want to be in for a longer period of time. But yeah, it was crazy. And definitely you saw that come into play. And it was interesting though, watching the futures on Tuesday, because Tuesday was the election, right? It was interesting watching the futures kind of like go up, in different levels. And I think that like once the markets, it seemed decided early that Joe Biden was going to win the election. It was interesting because you just saw, like, you saw growth stocks, you saw tech stocks really taking off, and tech led the way. So when I was looking at the futures, so like on Tuesday, looking at the futures that were projected for Wednesday, where the markets were opening at, man, futures were up 4 to 5% on election night. That was insane to me. But hey, I think it signaled to me like, hey, the markets are okay. We're okay with Joe Biden winning. Also, they were okay with kind of how it was going to shake out because, the House is, blue, and, the Senate was going to be red, and then the White House was going to be blue. And that whole divided kind of checks and balance power, I think, was honestly one of the best scenarios for the market, tech market specifically. If you had a blue wave, it was going to be easy to push in regulations and stuff, like rolling back things, rolling forward things. If you had this, it was going to be the same with the red wave, like it was going to be easier. But when you have that kind of divided checks and balances, it's going to be really hard to push things through that are like radically different. But hopefully we have enough stuff going on to kind of keep it going. Let me my boy Abuchi. Abuchi, what's up, man? So what's up, Abuchi? We were just talking real quick, man, as you connect and stuff.
What's up, Bucci?
What up, brothers?
What up? Hey, man, we're just talking real quick, dude, about kind of how the markets were playing. It was good to have you on. Good to have you on and connected with you and shit, though. But we were just kind of talking about, and the elections were fucking crazy, bro. Like that shit popped off on Thursday or Friday when you saw the markets like took a huge dip Monday, Tuesday, we're coming back, especially it was led by tech. Specifically, though, probably because we have that divided kind of checks and balances with the House, the Senate, and the executive branch and stuff. So I think hopefully we see like some.
Hey fam, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
like finishing church right now. Yeah, I'll be back.
cool.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about you for a little bit. I've been kind of looking at like the futures right now. The futures, I don't think so. The weekend futures looking over to Sunday, or sorry, to Monday, haven't kicked in again. But last time I checked, man, futures were looking like medium good to good. I think it was tech was up. I think the 500 was up, 30 was down. But hey, I think it's still like, hey, we still have a lot of uncertainty though. Man, the election was one thing that was past us. But now what do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? So I'm still cautiously optimistic this year, bro. I don't know about you.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic is definitely a good way to go about things. But one area I'm looking to look at investing in is definitely gold, because with the Federal Reserve right now, they're going to be printing more money. Like with this pandemic and everything, like they have to print more money in order to save America, in order to like help people out. Like this is what we need. They have to think about everybody in need right now, and the country is hurting so much financially that they're just going to have to print. I mean, it's it looks like it's set to be rise in either a deflationary or inflationary outlook. So Federal Reserve, definitely Tesla. Tesla is the biggest potential beneficiary from Joe Biden's plan, according to Wall Street analysts.
Yep.
I'm sure you can probably play off that a little bit more than me with Tesla, but also Tesla. Biden plans to reinvigorate domestic auto manufacturing, could also be helpful in courting voters in all important Midwest states that are home to many factories. So I think there's going to be more Tesla factories that are going to be created, especially in the Midwest. So also I'm looking at United Health Group investing in healthcare, energy transfer. So those are just like some stocks like long term. I'm thinking about like long term. I'm in it for the long game. So
Yeah, no, I think you talked about a few good ones there. Like you said, gold. I haven't played with as much with gold, but yeah, I definitely understand like that market is super like
I haven't played with gold either yet, but I'm looking to get into it
it's
because
super.
I know it can be very profitable.
Also, you're the one that kind of told you. I think you told me about Bitcoin's rip before it hit that 12K. You were on
Yeah,
that
so
month before. I should have listened to you. I just don't understand Bitcoin as much. I understand, but a lot of smart people are into Bitcoin, bro. And right now, I think it just hit 15K. I think over like Thursday, Friday for the first time since
so
2017.
yes, look, check this out.
Bitcoin out
Um,
like
I took down some notes. So this past week, Bitcoin has been on a steady rise. The current price was $15,375.81 as of 3:45 London or UK time
yeah.
on today, November 8th, 2020. So it's been rising for the past week, like been rising. And it's just, to me, I see it also as a precious commodity, just like you have gold, oil. It's Bitcoin to me is becoming more of a precious commodity, especially with the rise in blockchain. So
Yeah, no, exactly. And to your point, like, hey, I think it's like, I'm still struggling on how we're going to use it, but I think we figure that out eventually because, like, for me, I've never used Bitcoin before to do anything, but I know a lot of people are starting to do that. Like, we saw, like, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago where PayPal was kind of like saying, hey,
right,
we're going to support that. I think you can pay with, like, like Domino's Pizza. Some of them you can pay with Bitcoin and
right,
stuff.
like Subway's incorporating it, Domino's Pizza's incorporating it. I can't remember who else, but people are slowly starting to incorporate it in different payment systems where you can pay with Bitcoin. And I mean, I think it's ingenious because it's more secure. I think it's the way that currency is transitioning. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think like to your point, like as people like as more like you mentioned Subway, PayPal getting onto it, really that wave and stuff. And PayPal is kind of like at the front of the financial banking institutions in terms of
right,
where it's going. Like they kind of shift where the markets are going. So I think that like versus because as we saw when it hit 20K, it had a sell off. But I think this is different because more places are incorporating Bitcoin and making it easier for like Joe Smo like me to be able to use it in my everyday life and also use it as a way to two things: invest into the future, but also use it to buy stuff I need. And as you see, like
right,
even like Robinhood, you can buy and sell Bitcoin on Robinhood. You don't have to have go get a purse or a wallet and then, you know, like an e-wallet or whatever the fuck it is. They made it very difficult. And that's kind of what threw me off in like 2017, 2016. Well, I didn't get into it because I was like, oh, I got to do all this crazy shit to get like a Bitcoin that I don't even have, you know, but
right.
easier to use for us that don't have to go and jump in like the hoops and shit, you know?
Yeah. But also another is I'm looking to invest in defense too,
Oh yeah.
because Democrats typically spend $400 billion on defense. So like Lockheed Martin, Regeneron, Boeing's, the area of space, like this is all people. These are all companies that are going to be profiting from this Democratic candidacy.
No, yeah, exactly. And one of the ones that I've always watched is Maxar. They're in that
Yeah.
whole like defense you know, vein. But yeah, I think defense stocks are definitely also another one you might want to think of to think outside of this. So we're going into now with stocks we're watching this shit because you already talked about one. We'll come back to this one because I want to talk about this one because this is going to be a good one, I think. But so you talked about gold, we talked about Bitcoin a little bit, but one thing you mentioned that I wanted to talk about was Tesla because that's always, you know me, it's always something I'm going to watch. I love Tesla,
Right.
and I think that it's definitely a play for you know, a Joe Biden presidency because green energy is kind of one of the focal points of what he's doing, you know. So I think that Tesla plays perfect into that, you know. For me, Tesla, hey yo, I love it, and like I said, even without Joe Biden winning it, I think that it was going to be something that I always watch. What I love about Tesla is it's very trendy. Like people are buying and selling Tesla, you know, but also it stays in a really good loop. If you can see my screen, anything below
Exactly.
20, bro, I buy Tesla every chance I get. Man, I might not hold it for a very long time, but it doesn't like staying below 420.
And see,
Also, it
that's
doesn't like
that's my issue with Tesla. Whenever I've got into it, like I've wanted to just hold it and not pull out. Like when I know I should pull out, like I've held it for too long. So like
Yep.
if I could just learn to just pull out and become more of a day trader with Tesla, maybe not so much now because I'm thinking about long term.
Sure.
But that's my only thing about Tesla. Like I had profited from it, but I could have profited so much more
Yeah.
just because like I was betting on the long game and not the short game.
No, and I think that that's the smart way to do it. You know, if you're like not
Yeah.
content with it, hey, it's gonna like if you get it anywhere. Like I love when it dips below 400. Or like I think it was like 378. It traded the lowest
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I was like,
Yeah. It was like
easy money.
380, 381.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But if you step back and look at the week over week chart, which I love, there's this book. I don't know if I sent it to you, but it's basically how to make money on stocks. This book, bro, is so good. I'm not even done with it, but it showed me a deeper way to evaluate companies, especially looking at the week over week chart when you're
Mm,
investing more than trading. And what I love about Tesla looking like week over week, you know, is that it's very bullish week over week. Look at this RSI. And so RSI, you know,
yeah.
is basically, you know, how is it overbought or oversold? Anything generally above 70 is overbought. And you would think there's a correction coming. You see how like this is running hot at 94, way over, but then
Right.
you see it spike down, right? This was an indicator that hey, it's gonna like there's something that's gonna might correct soon. It drops off a cliff. You see the price do the same thing, right? And then you see it
Right.
coming back up. What I love about Tesla week over week is it can run hot. It can run 90. 94 RSI, you know, it doesn't have to
Mm,
reverse at 70, but what you see coming into it is there's a few things here that make me excited about Tesla, bro. This little bull flag pennant setting up, it can't break this channel, but it's not going lower than this either. So it's gonna probably here soon, I would think make a really good move. Because it's getting pretty close to the end here. The only thing that there's no volume coming in, and I think that was a few things. That was people waiting for like the presidency, like waiting for after that to start coming in and like really seeing
yeah.
where it was gonna go. But also you see
Right.
RSI picking back up, and I think when you see that, you see price picking back up. The MACD, so the moving average convergence divergence, it's a little bearish right now, but it's not like falling off of a cliff either. So I think that Tesla has a lot of legs to go, man. You know me, I love
Yeah.
a good fucking Tesla play, bro. But if you look at it at the day level, it's coming back up to be bullish there.
Uh,
Also, you know, like, hey, I have all these marks set up as like things like, hey, if it ever falls off a cliff, I get alerted that it's running that way, so I can kind of
okay.
get into it. But yeah, man, I think that you know, yeah, Tesla was trading at one of the lowest over the past week, 393, easy money back up to 420. So right now, 429 hit a high of like 440 over the past week. Anything below that's money, and I love it. But you also mentioned another one, and I wanted to talk about that one, Palantir Technologies. This is one that I
Yeah, real quick. Tesla right now, I'm looking at Robinhood. Tesla right now is sitting at 429.90.
Yep.
Mind you, this is after the market closed. So
Yep.
just yeah, November 6, 2020 after hours, 429.90.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like, and it looks like it wants to go more. We'll see how it comes out. I haven't seen any recent news, so all this is like not with anything to do with Tesla news. All this fluctuation is just its natural fluctuation. But if you get
Yeah,
Tesla as a good price, worst case scenario, you're investing versus trading Tesla. I love it, man. I always like
yeah.
I probably trade like once or twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, depending on when the dips are. I didn't actually do it for this last round because I was kind of like tied up in other stuff. But I really wish I would. But I've learned, hey, don't chase it. Like right now, 429, we don't know exactly where it's going to go. If you feel comfortable doing that, hey, great. But for me, I see it playing 420 or below. That's easy money. When it gets to 430, 440, it starts topping out and it starts reversing. 450, definitely.
Yeah,
It hasn't been able to break 450 for long. So when it hits that,
yeah.
you see a reversal. And that's the way I'm going to look at it until it proves to me that it's not going to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you about to go into right now?
Oh, Palantir, because it's kind of like a defense stock. So Palantir
Okay.
Technology, they're actually, so Palantir is super interesting, man. Company. I don't know. I think we may have talked about it before a little bit, but basically, Palantir is one that's it's kind of like a defense, like a big data play. One of the
Okay.
co-founders of Peter Thiel, one of the co-founders of PayPal, actually started this company using a lot of the learnings from PayPal apparently to kind of start this company. It's actually funded by the venture arm of the FBI. The FBI has a fucking venture arm of
Wow.
being an organization, and
Mm,
Palantir is one of those. The reason I call out Palantir because it was a huge move. So a 17% move. It was actually more than that at one point. Yeah, a high of $14 over Thursday, Friday. It was a great
mm,
play for me. I loved it. But what I enjoyed about this one specifically is it's super new. So it just IPO'd. I think it was 1028, right? It's a new company that I think there's a really good growth stock here, and it's getting a lot of buzz. I think they just had a Barron's mention not too long ago. Barron's mentioned on 11/6, so on Friday, it seemed like, and basically they're calling it out as something. Peter Thiel, one of the co-founders of PayPal, but they're calling it out as one to watch. Jim Cramer's talking about it, so I think it's
What's
getting a
the
lot more
what's the
buzz. So we'll
symbol?
see that. Sorry, what was
What's
that?
the symbol for Palantir?
Yeah, PLTR. And it was definitely it's definitely an interesting play for me, one that I'm definitely watching, and it's along those, like I said, it's like defense. It's like a big data defense play. They go and they it's actually a consult. They consult, but also they implement. So it's a SaaS company, so software as a service that also
Okay.
consults too. And they don't have like they go in with millions of dollars for a contract. It's not, you don't get access to it for $5,000. You're spending millions of dollars. Governments use it. The
Right.
FBI uses it. Our police force. There's a lot of big governments that are using it. So I think that this is going to be a really interesting one at a great value. But still, like I
Mm,
said, it just IPO, so super fresh. I actually played this one on IPO day, got out, made some money, and then I was like, I'm going to come back when I see what its natural price wants to be. And we saw a really heavy
yeah.
price movement over here, during the week. But also an interesting one. So when you do a Fibonacci retracement, and we talked about Fibonacci before, right? Kind of that
Yeah.
crazy Fibonacci shit. When you do one after the low and the high, you see here one of the areas. So two areas that are usually respected really well, 23 and 38. This one, when you do a Fibonacci to see where it's going to bottom out, that's not a coincidence. Right at that 23.6 line to say, hey, this might be a good area of support. It bounced to this. It can't break lower. We'll see if it holds. But when I look at this, I see a few indicators. I see news coming in. I see it's respecting Fibonacci retracement line for support. So far, I see RSI going up, but maybe it's a little too hot right now, so maybe it's going to cool off here. But also your
Mm,
MACD moving average convergence divergence is diverting to be even more bullish. So I think this is going to be a really interesting one here pretty soon.
interesting.
Yeah, man.
I'll definitely look at it.
The other
Palantir.
one I was gonna call out for you though, bro. So we talked about a little defense. I'm just going all over the place, but these are just like on my watch list.
Yeah.
Rocket companies, bro. Rocket companies, dog.
Oh, for sure. For
So
sure. For sure.
this one is an interesting one, and I wanted to show this. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah.
So Rocket companies is basically like they're a pure play home or loan or mortgage origination, right? So basically you can use it right now. I think that a quick loans company, that basically you go online, you can go on your phone, you can go online to get a home loan, you know, or to get an application to be a home loan, and you finance it through them. I don't think it finances through them, but you know, they do that whole piece for you. But if you look at home sales, and I was pulling it up earlier in the week, if you look at home sales, and this is from the National Realtors Association, you know, starting, you know, basically, what is that? 5, 7, 9. So let's say we're in May, June, July. 4 million homes, 6 million homes, 6.5 million homes. So you see that curve going up for home sales. That can directly impact Rocket companies. Rocket companies actually, they serve almost 10% of the U.S. home mortgage population. It's a $20 billion market, bro. And there's no pure play competitor that I can find for Rocket Mortgage. The reason why I brought this up is because they have an earnings report due this week. So this is why I'm looking at it. And bro, when I was playing with these, bro, if you look at their charts, man, coming, and there's a few reasons why I like it. One, it's, you know, it's in a hot sector. Two, they don't really have a lot of pure play competitors that are as good. I've actually used them. It was a good experience. I didn't actually go through them or use them, but I tried the product and it was great. You know, I got my approval within X amount of time, you know, like on the spot. And then they had someone call me, you know, throughout the week to kind of see if I wanted to use them. So they're using both their online, but also like their personal touch to get into there. So I think that's going to be a good one. It actually IPO'd just in August, but it's been a company since 1985, basically. But the reason why I like this one is because it respects lines and trends. And what I mean by that, if you look at it over time, so if you look at the week, so people were day trading this shit heavy, bro. People love this one. I played it a couple times, but I was kind of late to
it's sitting at 21.88 right now over the weekend.
Yeah, no, it's been a mover, dude. What I loved about this one though, specifically, is it had like a little ABC play a couple times. But also for this one, it's still trying to figure out what it's going to do. But I think right now, like you see this pop here, it was just basically people were really bullish on this. They were day trading it. They were pumping it up. I don't think it was necessarily ready to do that. Also, they had one earnings before this one. And basically the CEO said, hey, you know, over the next quarter is usually seasonality. It's not we don't do as hot. I think with COVID, you see a little bit of shift to the paradigm, because even talking to my realtor, hey, like people are there's so many people getting home loans right now because of the historically low, interest rate. So people are doing it. Houses can't stay on the market. And I think Quicken Loans
Exactly.
Yeah, Quicken Loans, Rocket Companies benefits from that. But what I liked about this one is it finally hit its low, and it's a rise after that. So a low earlier of the week, so 10:30. So when the markets were definitely shitting out, you know, it definitely hit an all-time low here from basically where it started trading at earlier in its life, which is only since August. But now we're on that ascension up. You see it, you know, it's kind of reversing out. Like we said, 70 and 30 is basically overbought or oversold. It finally hit the oversold level, looking day over day, and now we see a reversal from that. You see volume coming in. You see this MACD, moving average convergence, divergence picking back up since it hits the bottom. So I think that a lot of people are looking at this one, especially for their earnings that are coming out this upcoming week. I think for this one, Rocket Mortgage is 11:10 after market close. We'll see Rocket Mortgage. But also, what I love about this one though is just basically it's in a great industry, but it's a gamble though. It's an educated guess at best, because there's it doesn't have like a history yet, because it just IPO.
Yeah, relatively new, but I mean, I think it's a smart gamble. I mean, I don't want to try to, you know, influence too many people, but it's like it is what it is. Like
it is what it is. And when you do these, like you said, it's a gamble. It's a smart gamble. You try to hedge it in your favor. You try to get it at a good price. You try to see what the action is doing. You know, at the end of the day, when you're done working, you know, markets close, you know, at Central Time, you know, 3. So you kind of see what it's doing. You see, hey, do I need to get out? Do I need to stay in? You look at some news at the end of the night. You see what's going on with it, you know. But I think that this one, worst case, I think Rocket Companies, because a lot of smart people are very bullish on this company. You know, I love Jim Cramer. You know me. But you know, my boy Jimmy Chill, he says, hey, it's run by smart people, smart companies. Also, check out that podcast, bro. That Mad Money podcast is money, and it's free. It's free, dude.
Yeah.
It's 40 minutes, 50 minutes, but you learn a lot daily. I learn a lot of stuff, not to say buy or sell this one, but more conceptually, like the people behind, like he does a lot of research for you. So you can say, okay, cool, this is the CEO of the company. What have they done before? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Deeper. He loves the company. I think it's in a great market. And we'll see with the earnings. But worst case is, I have to get out early before earnings. Hey, that's what it is. But I'm gonna really, I might ride this one for the end now that we've seen what the bottom is at 17. But yeah, man, sorry, I'm just taking up.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. I was gonna say, Genius Brands too. I got in them on Friday, on November 6th, 2020, and they're up since then. Just something to think about.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who don't know, they're just a brand management company which engages in development, producing, marketing, and licensing branded children's entertainment properties and consumer products.
Bro,
You're the one that told me about Genius Brands.
yeah.
So like I kind of played with it at first. I kind of got burnt, but then I got into it this weekend. I was like, let me just see. And this weekend, since the election probably had something to do with it, influence it. It just kind of skyrocketed a little bit, and I was like, oh, this could be a good one. Because like right now, I think it's sitting at, let me just check.
It's sitting at $1.05, 6 cents.
Yeah, $1.05, and it's a fairly affordable stock. So I was thinking, man, like, let me just get in this. But yeah, it did pretty good for me so far.
Yo, Genius, bro. I remember I rode this fucking Genius when it hit this spike for 11.73. It was a multi-day runner. I remember this shit, bro. Like Genius was a fucking banger, dude. For me, I will say though, it moved too much too fast early on, and that caused a lot of shorts to come into it to drive that price down. Like it was definitely a pump and dump for this one. I don't think it should have risen as fast as it did as quick, but people were hand over fist buying this motherfucker at one point. Yeah, you know what is this date? 6.3. Yeah, I remember that, bro. It was insane. It was just defying all logic for a while. And then you see it cool off after that. The only thing with Genius that I don't like as much yet, you look at these barcodes, look at that, man. It's barcoding. So basically, algorithms trading back and forth against each other. It's going to rise when it wants to rise. You know what I'm saying? But you can use it to like when you buy it at a good price, it's going to rise again because the algorithms are controlling it. You look at these barcodes. They're trading back and forth to each other, It's going to rise when it wants to rise. So when it rises, you have to be able to like pop the trigger. Or you can try to hold it a long time. Either way, I like Genius Brands. I like Andy, the CEO of the company. He actually has done this many times before. This is a guy who nerds out about like cartoons and stuff. Like he's done this before.
Okay.
We have a lot of smart people that they brought over like from Disney and other places and shit like that. If you look up I think Andy Hayward, he has been the mastermind behind a lot of really good IPs. I think one of them was like Captain Planet, bro. Like this guy worked on fucking Captain Planet. He loves to give kids an entertainment, but education. That's what he does. And now he's layering the software on top of that, the Genius Brands. And
with the pandemic and everything, like I see the transition, the transition to like digital platform, especially for education. So, I mean, this could possibly help out with that. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, just like schools in general, like are some of them are just kind of in person, running wild, no mask. But I'm thinking about schools that are going to do the more learning over the internet, pretty much. So I'm thinking that it's going to be good. That's what I'm thinking.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think so. And I think like once people start coming back into it, it's going to take a few good ERs to come in because Genius played their hand too early in my opinion, and they ran that price up, which was great. But also like they popped those triggers like really quick to say, oh, we have this new X, Y, and Z. We have this new platform. Shaq's coming on. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger. We got Stanley's Universe.
Right.
They have a lot of stuff. It's about now them putting them into place. But I like Genius Brands. I was waiting for it to hit the bottom, but I know a lot of people are playing this like on a day level because you have these massive swings where you can make 15, 12% in a day in every, over a few days, you just have to catch it at the right price when the algorithms are ready to lead it up. Look at this, man. Like it ain't going over that price for a reason, but then when it wants to pops up,
it'll pop. Yeah.
$1.06 to, 114-ish. And hey, that's money right there. If you have, thousands of shares in it, because it's such a cheap price. So you can really day trade. You have to be kind of patient and get it at a good price, sell it when you want to, and then use it as a day trade until it starts coming back up, over, $2, $3, $4, $5, where it's harder for these algorithms to trade
Right.
back and forth, and more people are getting into it again, because people
And also
learn on this
like
real hard, dude.
cannabis growth. That's going to be a big thing.
Which one?
With Biden decriminalizing, he's going to want to decriminalize on a federal level marijuana. He's going to want to decriminalize like prosecuting Kamala Harris for the decriminalization, and they're also for the medicinal legalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
So even like with Aurora Cannabis, I was playing that for a while, and it was just like down. I was just like, you know what? Let me get out of here. Fuck this shit. But I wasn't even thinking like, okay, Biden got elected. I got so caught up in it. I was just like so fucking happy. Like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, if I would have remembered to get into it, their stock skyrocketed over the weekend to like fucking like $9. I was like, holy shit, like it's fucking crazy. But they're the only a few of a handful of ones that are legally allowed to trade cannabis in the U.S. right now, simply because it's a Canadian company.
No, yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
what's good, bro? Aurora.
Aurora, bro.
Aurora
We're talking
Cannabis.
about like the overall legalization and how that's going to be very bullish for the cannabis industry. I do like it, bro. Aurora ACB is one that I've been in a few times. The only thing I don't like about cannabis so far is that like it doesn't hold the pops. Like it'll pop really good. But it is yet. But
I've
it hasn't had a
I've noticed
catalyst
that.
like this yet. So maybe
Like
this
it
changes
fluctuates
it. I know a
too
lot of people have gotten into ACB recently and are holding it. But yeah, like you said, huge pop over the weekend. Definitely 11.4. So what was 11.4? That was like Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. It was interesting though because the pop, and this is why I was watching it on Tuesday. So Tuesday we realized that legalization was gonna like expand. It didn't actually pop on Wednesday though. It like popped on Thursday or some shit. Yeah, 11.5, which is that Thursday. So I was like, what's happening? Man, that would have been a perfect opportunity to get into that because that price just shot up. Looking at Aurora Cannabis, from $4.08 to fucking $12, bro. 12 fucking bucks, dog. It's about catching that news quick. And if I was listening to you, I would have done that, man. So that's exactly why I love connecting with y'all about that shit. To say, oh, think about this, think about that. Because
something was telling me too, just to get into it. But I was looking at it when I was in it, and I was like, "This shit, man!" And I just pulled it out way too fast.
Furlough has great instincts, bro. You mentioned AMD back, a few months ago. You mentioned Bitcoin. You've been talking about ACB for a while.
Oh hell yeah, nigga! I saw Bitcoin go up a little bit. Like I saw it go up when you said what you said. I actually like no bullshit. I put like $1 in that hoe just to fucking see because I had like I think $20 left in what the hell in my Robinhood account, and that bitch went up. Like, cause it's not about the money. It's just like the percentage was like it actually went up.
Yeah, and I've heard some analysts predicting that
Speaking of
it can go up to $20,000, which is it's not unbelievable. Like I definitely believe it can happen, but some analysts are expecting it to go past $20,000. When it's gonna happen, I can't tell you, but it's definitely on the rise right now.
No, yeah.
So let me ask you this though, since y'all really keep up with it, if it hits 20,000, do you see it being a bubble, or do you see it being like a new support line? Support?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
definitely a new support line.
Okay. What makes you say that, Wayne?
Well, I just see it like I see it as becoming like a new form of currency, like a new way of people using money. Like just like how we have paper money, we transition to digital cards. Now we're going to transition to Bitcoin, and it's just going to be, and not just Bitcoin. Like we have all these cryptocurrencies out there.
Blockchain,
they're doing
technologies
good.
in general. Yeah.
Technologies in general. I just kind of see it being as a new payment method that's going to be used. How it's going to be incorporated into the world is just going to be slowly but surely, like we were just discussing. I don't know if you missed it or not, Abuchi. We were talking about like how Subway is incorporating Bitcoin onto the payments.
No, I missed all that.
Canada, I believe.
I know about PayPal, but I didn't know about Subway. Domino's Pizza too?
Domino's Pizza too. I think the meeting's over.
Oh, wow.
PayPal's been incorporated. They're doing that whole thing. Yeah, so I think they kind of like what Perlo was saying. It's different from the original time. It was running to 20K because now it's easier for us that don't need to go and throw the hoops and go to a Bitcoin exchange or whatever. There's Bitcoin ATMs. I don't know what you use those
Yeah,
for, but there's
that's what I
Bitcoin
mentioned.
I've
You
never
ATMs
mentioned too.
at
Like
understood
gas
that.
stations.
they have Bitcoin ATMs, and I was looking at that, and it's crazy. I was like, they're slowly incorporating this into the world. Like this is just like going to be a
Digital
new
money,
thing,
bro.
Imagine
like
if there
digital
was like a
currency.
gold ATM, or if you can trade gold dust to like fucking
Right.
buy your pizza or some shit, like
It's
Yeah.
it's a
yeah.
different wave. I think I still don't understand it as much, but I'm getting more into it because a lot of
Me
smart
too.
people, bro, have been very bullish about it and are very
And
bullish about it. So we might see
you,
another
Roger.
resurgence.
I'm still super bullish on it, bro, because it's still in its infancy stages, man. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
yeah, that shit's gonna be wild when it really pops. It ain't pop yet. I don't
Well,
think so.
Roger was the first person to tell me about Bitcoin back in like 2015,
Yeah, man.
20,
I was working with some
2014,
engineers at
something
the
like
time,
that.
bro, and they were fucking nerding out on this shit. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this Bitcoin shit? Bro, if we would have just
How much was it going for at
they
that
told me
time?
they were like it was nothing. It was pennies, bro. And it was like dollars. They were like get
Oh,
Bitcoin now. And I was like, I don't understand this shit. But man, those engineers, they were fucking mining it though. They weren't just like buying and selling
uh,
it. They were making
and that's back then when it
microtransactions
was
off of
easier
other
to
people
mine.
doing it.
It was a lot easier back then. It was a lot
Yeah.
easier. You needed a lot less processing power than you do now. But it's like,
Yeah, now you need a lot more processing power to mine it. It's not something simple you can do with a personal laptop or
nah,
Now
something.
they're
You need
reformatting
nah,
like
nah.
a
hydroelectric
advanced
plants to
computer.
like do that shit. Can you believe that
No,
shit?
I
That's how
shit you
much
not. Like, no
computing power
bullshit.
you
For real.
need.
Like, yeah, because it cools it. Because the hydroelectric dam, the water in it, that's the only thing that can keep that shit cool enough for that bitch to keep working and not like overheat.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy. That's
saying?
crazy.
Yeah. But I feel like there's a way because there was somebody trying to figure out a way to take that thermal energy and like make it usable versus it just being like dissipated as heat. You know what I'm saying? Create
Mhm.
some kind of just create a loop, a network of loops, man, to where our planet becomes efficient overall. Because it's not just about making this money type shit, man.
Right. And that's definitely something to think about. Just overall, like, especially with the way the world is heading now. Biden
Bro, first of all,
and
congratulations, man. We ain't talked
oh,
since you
thank
got
you.
married, big dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm
That's
enjoying the married
love,
life.
man. Hey, it's man, when you find the one, bro, peace.
Yeah, it's
Like
so
my
worth
girl right
it,
now.
and it's so much peace in my heart, so much peace in my mind. It's just like, thank you, God. Finally, like something you've been fighting for your whole life, and it's just like I'm
Yeah.
at peace now.
You
Like
finally attracted
everything,
what you are, bro. You've always been at peace. You finally
exactly.
just like it's almost like we gotta accept who we really are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even if it means like a peaceful person, and then we truly start attracting everything that we deserve,
yeah,
dog. Yeah.
yeah. Congratulations on your
Happy for you,
beautiful lady
man.
too, Bucci.
Yo, appreciate you, man. She
Yeah.
A1, dog. I'm in the backyard right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what's
Yeah,
up, man. That's what's up.
freedom. Nah, straight up, bro. Like I'm gonna marry her, fam. Probably August of next year
Yeah,
in Vegas. Yeah, so I'm gonna let y'all know when it's gonna happen so y'all can pop up.
yeah. Congratulations, man. Yeah.
Yeah, she ride for a nigga, man. She ride for
That's so.
man.
What churches y'all go to today?
Transformation Church. No, it was online. It's
Yeah.
this church but it's Transformation Church. I'm gonna send you the YouTube link, man. I'm talking about there is no message that I've listened to that I haven't cried because
Hmm.
it'd be some real shit. Like it'd be some
Yeah.
real life issues. Like today was about basically like accepting the fact that whatever happened to you that was wrong, it was unfair. And
Hmm.
to get to the next stage of life, like you got to work on forgiving yourself, you know what I'm saying? And forgiving
Yeah.
anybody else that could have wronged you because that's where that our pain is usually where like our next level lies. We can get past that
Hmm.
pain, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it was a good message, man. Every
Yeah,
Sunday.
your heart has to be settled, man. You can't hold that in your heart. You have to have a clean heart in order
All
to
about the heart.
attract those manifestations, you know?
Because you can talk a good game, but if you truly
Hmm.
don't mean it, you're not gonna attract it.
Exactly.
Your heart knows. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, man, that's the church that we were on today, and she's a programmer. She's a data
Oh, nice,
engineer. Yeah.
nice.
So everything that we talking about, bro, like it's pretty much along the lines of what she's doing also. And
Hmm.
Roger, I don't know if I told you, but like, 'cause I know Roger does a little bit of programming, but she's learning Azure, the programming language.
Yeah. Microsoft.
Yeah, and then Snowflake.
Yeah.
And some other shit. Yeah, she's getting all them different. She works for Slolum.
Oh, she
just got hired on by Slolum.
Consulting company.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's like, and she's peaceful as fuck, nigga. Like, and we just found out she's 84% Nigerian. What's up?
Wow.
Yeah, she did an ancestry test, man. Yeah, so it's like that. It makes sense, bro. Like, it makes sense why we connect so well. You got to find somebody that you kind of that you share spiritual values with, and it ain't even got nothing to do with church. Straight
right.
up. So
yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, not religion at all. I don't do religion, man. I'm a Christian because that's what I was born into, but love is my religion. Straight up.
Yep.
But anywho, back to the money. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been researching stocks. It's been heavy into the real estate shit that I got going on right now.
Oh, no worries. It's cool, man. But
yeah, but I need to be learning from this shit.
Caught up. I know how it is to get caught up in something like that. But I would encourage you just to set aside a little bit of time if you can, just to try to do some research. I mean, it's not like rocket science, you know, but I mean, it is something you have to learn. And if you want to be good at it, you know,
we all have to learn this, man, so we can have like supplemental income, like multiple streams, and then pass the knowledge on, man. Like, got to.
Exactly.
Got to. Yeah, man.
Yep, that's exactly what it's about, man. We all come from different perspectives, different starts and finishes, you know. For me, it's just about prolonging it. Like, I'm not trying to get rich or anything right now. I'm trying to just learn as much as I can, develop great habits, win more than I lose. But also in that is realizing when you lost. And that's the hardest part is realizing when you lost, bro. But realizing
gotta know when to fold them.
Bro, you have to. Sometimes you can chart shit, you can do all the research you want, bro. It's not. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. You know, you can put yourself.
You can't make the numbers fit. You gotta accept it.
But exactly at that point, you have to just accept it, or you can try to buy your way out of it. But learn from my experience is like you need deep pockets, and you're wishing.
Oh.
When I look at sometimes I'll look at this called stock twits. It's like just a thing where people can go. It's like a Reddit, but for specific stocks and shit. I see people.
I heard of them.
I hope or I wish it turns around. I'm like, bro, you're already fucked. If you're hoping or wishing,
get out now, right? Before you kill your whole portfolio.
No, when I downloaded stock twits, I was getting too distracted, like reading the feed or whatever. For me, it wasn't that helpful to me. I mean, I'm sure for you, Roger, it was probably more helpful, but it was just like I was getting caught up in it. I guess I was thinking more emotionally. I was just getting caught up in it, and I shouldn't have.
I mean,
it's definitely an overload, but people have their own. People in there have their own reasons to post what they want. So someone could post, oh, fucking, I'm looking at Mary J right now is the ETF for like a bunch of cannabis stocks. They could say, oh, it's trading right now at $13.98. They could just be like, oh, it's going to $5. You can post whatever the fuck you want, you know? You know what? You take it all with a grain of salt, but a lot of times you will see like they'll post quicker news. Like that's what I use it for, to see the quickest news, you know, about a stock, because a lot of times they find out about stuff before. Twitter's actually a lot better, I think, for stock trading, but stock twits is interesting because it's
never used Twitter for that.
So
I don't think I've ever focused on Twitter as like, you know, for investing, because I heard you say that in one of your videos.
Bucci, do you have Seeking Alpha?
Seeking Alpha?
Yeah,
it's an app.
No.
That might be a good one. They send you just stock news, you know, like just news.
So what I did was I started a portfolio on Seeking Alpha, and like on the weekend they'll send you news, and sometimes they'll send you even breaking news. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger, but they'll send you breaking news on different stocks. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For things
they'll send you breaking news on different stocks right to your phone.
That's a bet. I'm trying to download that right now.
Yeah, man. I would say like download it and just think of some stocks that you want to watch and just add them to your portfolio. Basically, your portfolio is stocks you're watching, right? And it's going to send you, you know, daily, you know, weekly news about that.
Yeah.
So if you see something that comes out, oh, cool, like let me think about this a little bit more, you know? Or if you see some negative stuff, you can kind of react maybe if you need to. But they also have a really good, Seeking Alpha has a really good podcast, bro. Really good. I would definitely recommend it. They
I
send
love
it
podcasts,
every
man.
morning. Yeah, I love podcasts, especially investing podcasts. Every morning, like Central Time, like 7 a.m. They have a daily podcast about what happened yesterday, what they think is going to happen today, like news that you need to know. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, I start my morning with that just to kind of get, even if I'm not trading, just to kind of like think about it. So
that's like it's like what 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me over here. So it's a little bit difficult, but I mean, I can still listen to it.
Yeah, it's still interesting. I think it's still like helpful shit.
Are the podcasts recorded?
The podcast, yeah, all of them are recorded. And you have a history, you can go back and listen to them. But yeah, definitely, if you're into podcasts, bro, Seeking Alpha has probably one of the best ones that are the quick, kind of digestible ones.
I love that the small tidbits.
Yeah.
Because I just need the tidbits, because then I'll go on and like do my own research.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So I would just create a portfolio. If I were you, Abuchi, just different stocks. You don't even have to invest in anything yet. Just create a portfolio on Seeking Alpha, different stocks you want to follow, and just kind of see what the news is, and then kind of go from there. And then if you feel comfortable investing, if you want to do more research in it, that's what I would suggest. But yeah, Seeking Alpha, that's a good start. And Roger recommended that to me. But at first, I was just using Robinhood, and I was just on Robinhood researching stocks and then figuring out what was good for me, what wasn't good for me. And then my wife, she actually told me about Groupon, and I was like, okay, Groupon. And it's funny because Groupon was the first initial stock that they gave to me for free. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. This shit is like only $1. And I was like all pissed off about it, or however much it was when it was real low. It was like $2 or something like that. It's like, why would they give me this cheap shit? And then like I didn't really pay much attention to it. But then it bumped up to like I think like $15 or $17.
Yeah, they went on the
and I was like, okay. My wife called me and she was like, you need to get into this, you need to get into this. And I was like, okay. So I got into it. I did good for like just a short amount of time and I got out. Like even like, but even Groupon right now is back. Yeah, I haven't checked it, but it dipped below. I think last time I checked it, it was like below $20, like around 17 or no, it was around $18. It had dipped back low, but I remember the high was like around $31.50 or something. But I pulled
remember
out
when
just
they was
before
giving
the
away
peak.
the Groupon. Yeah, I had a Groupon stock, a free one, but I think I
Oh, you
sold that
got
bitch like way
Groupon
too
too?
early. I had one like a while back, but in Robinhood, but I got rid of that bitch.
I'm lucky. I got some shit. Like I got like Chesapeake Energy or some shit. I was like, man, I don't want this. I sold it.
I heard of this shit.
I sold that shit. I don't need this.
Yeah. But you gotta admit, it's like a pretty good incentive to get you like a free stock. It's like, oh, okay, free stock.
That's smart, bro.
It gets you in there. It sparks your interest.
They know that because like if you see, if I bought one share and this works, let me buy some more shares. I mean, it's like you can give somebody a sample of your product. You gonna come back.
Right.
If it makes sense. I mean, not say you. Not me either. I don't do none of that.
Right. I know it's like or like at Sam's or Costco, man. I'm running around getting
that's
all
what
those
I'm talking about.
samples, man.
Sam's.
I'm going in there hungry.
Straight up finna eat, bro. Yo, I be going.